Hi, my name is Michael and welcome back to another episode of Amarok Weekenderlander. In this episode we're going to go through 5 more mods, hacks and tips for your iKamper and rooftop tent. I'm going to talk specifically about an iKamper in this one, but these should work across any rooftop tent brand. Thank you very much for all of the support, feedback and comments on my original top 10 tips, mods and hacks video, and that sort of support and progress and success is what's led me to make this video today. So I've got 5 more hacks to share with you today that I was going to include in the first video, but it was getting a bit too long. As always, any products and things will be mentioned in the description below. Give me a little bit of support on this channel, and thank you very much to anybody who has used them in the past. It is a huge help. So let's get this tent open and we'll get started with the first couple of hacks. Right, so mod number 1 is these guys, and it's a bit of storm protection for the tent. These tents are rated for good wind, particularly if you put the hard shell into the direction of the wind, so that's what takes the force. It's one of the reasons why I got an iKamper, so it's a bit more weather resilient, given where I live in the UK isn't always the best. These are more of a preventative thing. I don't plan to go out in a storm, but it's just if I get caught out there, and it's these big ground anchors. I can't show you them perfectly here because the ground I'm on at the minute, just for the sake of filming, is quite rocky. But on some of the campsites and things that I use where it's more grass and a bit muddy, these work a lot better. Basically, it's these big ground screws. So you screw them in, and this is not just a protective sleeve, it does fit in there as well, so that you can really sort of add some leverage and screw that all the way into the ground. And then I just use a strap. It could be a ratchet strap or anything, or some sort of webbing strap up into the eyelets of the tent, so that it stops this platform from lifting up in the wind. If you've ever been in a roof tent when it's windy, that is quite a terrifying experience to have, when your feet all of a sudden just start lifting off the floor. It adds a bit more strength to the tent as well in that weather. I got these as a pack of 4. I think it was sub £20. These act as a sort of a great sort of last resort, just to see you through a night, to get you home. I wouldn't necessarily plan on going out in a storm. I wouldn't want to risk damage in the tent, but it's just if you get caught short. At time of filming, so this is about August 2023, if you're on any of the UK camping groups, you will have seen that we're getting hit by Storm Anthony at the minute, and there are some people out there camping whose tents have just been destroyed. And for the sake of a little bit of prevention, I think it's worth taking these with you because of how small they are. These are also probably quite good for securing a dog lead too, just so that it's anchored right in the floor. Once that's in the floor fully, that's not coming out. So those will be tip number 1 in terms of storm prevention: some ground pegs and some straps for your fold out panel. Right, we're coming inside the tent for mod number 2, and you can probably see it just about here, which is this overhead fan. It is starting to get quite warm in the UK at the minute, and one of the good things about the iKamper is the quality of the material, but with the colour and how dense the material is, it does get really quite warm in here. When we pitch a camp, we open up the tent straight away. We get all the windows open with the mesh down to keep the bugs out, and that gets some airflow through. But just in the middle of the night, obviously when you want a bit more darkness, you are going to need some kind of airflow. We usually leave these windows cracked open a little bit just for ventilation and anti-condensation anyway, and this is what makes a huge difference. This particular one has a light on it as well. It can serve as your interior light if you need it to. It's not blindingly bright, but it's good if you need to go to the toilet in the middle of the night without waking the other person up or something like that. The iKamper has lots of little fabric hooks all around the inside of this tent, and I didn't know what they were for until I mentioned it briefly on one of the iKamper groups on Facebook, and of what it's for, and it's dead obvious once you know. It's the internal straps to attach the insulation tent to, but actually it's great for hanging various different accessories too. You know, there's one in the middle, there's one in each corner, so that's one place that you can attach this fan to. There's a reason why I got this specific fan as well, and it's because the angle of which the hook hangs, and that way it's so that you can hang it on the metal hoop over there, which I will show you in a second, so that it can blow at you, or you could sort of angle it down so that it could blow on you. We're going to have 2, and we're going to have one sort of pushing air this way across the tent and another one pushing the way that way, so hopefully it'll just have a nice breeze through the tent. Failing that, we're just going to put them on the hoops here and just have them blasting in our face. Hopefully it's not going to be that hot and we can park in shade. So this is what I mean about hanging it off that hoop. So as you can see, there's the door, and you can angle that towards you when you're sort of asleep, so that you can have that pointed directly at you. So if one person wants it and the other person doesn't, you could put it sort of more that way. If the other person wants it and you both want it, you will have to have 2 and share, but it's just a way that you can then attach it to that hook up there. And if we quickly have a look around here, these are the various different hooks that you can see. You can see I've got a carabiner on there, which is what I'll explain in a second. But yeah, there's these hooks all around. There's one up in this corner, which I often use as well. So there's a few different places that you can hang your fan. Like I say, mod number 2 is a fan inside the tent. Now, mod number 3 is the best kind of mod because it's free. And it's dead simple, and it's just something that I never realised until I realised, and then it was really obvious. I've took the safety stickers off my ladder. They are bright, they're yellow, they're white, and it just kind of spoils the aesthetic. It's kind of where it came from, looking for those bougie Instagram photos and stuff. Taking the stickers off, there's some down the bottom as well. They're all gone on this ladder. I just prefer the cleaner look, and I understand why they're there in the first place. It's up to you whether you take them off or not. It's your own sort of risk and liability whether you do. But I took them off just to clean it up. There was a couple across these steps here, like I say, the big ones down the bottom, and I just love how much better it looks now that it's clean. And it's not something I thought of until I seen somebody else's ladder without them. And I don't even think it was necessarily they've taken them off. I just think their ladder on another rooftop tent brand came without them. So I've took them off to clean it up as sort of the look, and just putting this out there in this video so that it's something that you might do that you've never thought of. And yes, you can peel them off. They're a little bit of a pain to peel off. I used a bit of WD-40 and just a plastic scraper and scraped it all off. Get rid of them, and you have a nice clean ladder for free for mod number 3. So mod number 4, we're back inside the tent for, and it uses very similar points that mod number 2, the fan, did. And what it is just simply that carabiner up there. And that might sound really simple, but I keep my car keys on there. I've only got one set of car keys when I go camping, and when I'm in the middle of the night and if I need to go in the vehicle, I need to know where these are. Otherwise I have a little bit of a flap when I can't find them. So I just hang them up on there. It also means if my partner needs to get in the car in the middle of the night, don't have to worry about going down into the packet there. It's just something that, it sounds daft, but again, it's what I've done. It's what I've always done. This carabiner lives in the tent. So it might be something that helps you. You might hang something else on there. But for me, my car keys always live on there at night. And no other time they're in my pocket all the other time. But at night, they hang up there. It does also mean that if the car alarm goes off for whatever reason, I can just reach up, grab it and silence it straight away so that I'm not disturbing the rest of the campsite. So mod number 4 is dead simple. It's just a carabiner inside your tent and you hang it up there. For my 5th and final mod hack or tip is using a tarp to make some kind of awning or canopy over this ladder. iKamper themselves do sell a rain cover and also a big wide awning. I do plan to buy those eventually, but at the moment I've got a tarp, and this is what I use to try and keep the ladder a little bit drier when it's raining. This might be a bit interesting to film because I don't normally do this by myself, and also this ground is not very good for pegs at all. So I will try my best to get it up on film, but if it doesn't look very good, please do forgive me. But the key to it is these awning clips. So they are just going to clip between sort of my tarp and the entrance to the tent. You then sort of clamp it down in a way that's safe for both pieces of fabric, and then that'll just expand out over here. So there's a super basic version. You could leave it like this, or you use some adjustable awning poles to lift that end up. This is the bit where it gets difficult doing it with only one person, and particularly on this ground that I'm on. So there you go, there's my DIY awning for my stairs. Obviously it's a lot harder with just one person, particularly on ground that's quite soft and the pegs keep coming out. Even as it is now, this keeps the stair area clean, and my plan is eventually to buy the iKamper version of this so that it's a lot quicker. But for now, whilst I've got the top and the poles and the pegs, it's something that I can do that just helps keep this little bit of an area dry if I don't want to fully deploy the air tent that I've got, and then it's just something that works. So that's mod number 5, my DIY stair awning. So that is another 5 mods, hacks and tips for your iKamper and any rooftop tent. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As always, any links for any products that I've talked about today are in the description below. They are affiliate links, they don't cost you any more to buy, but they just give me a little bit of a kickback from that massive global corporation that can spare a few pennies for creators like me. Thank you very much for all your comments and feedback on the last video. Please feel free to do the same on this video, and if you think I've missed anything, drop them in the comments below and you could see them featured in a video in the future. If you think I've earned it, please subscribe to the channel and click that like button. It really does help the channel grow. Share it with your friends and in any other Facebook groups that you see. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, the best memories are made outside, so let's get back out there and have some fun. Cheers, bye. Still coming. There it goes. Oh, there's a lorry coming as well, which you'll be able to hear.